Yo, what is good, guys? It is Gamer22 here, and I'm sorry I haven't posted in 2 weeks, but I'm back. And, there's some beef going on between a certain group that just won a streamy for Best Creator Group Squad, I believe, called 2Hype. I love watching them. Jester's literally one of the reasons I started watching them. And, it's just crazy the amount of hate, But, yeah. So, the question here today is, what the heck happened to 2Hype and what will their future look like? It's not looking bright, man. It really is. So if you notice, Mopa tweeted saying L Hype, Cash Mitchell cool though. And people believed him. I'm not saying I don't believe him, but yeah. That's basically what happened. They all replied, and yeah. And Los even did some exposing, What I really think happened is... I really think Los is kind of telling the truth. I really think 2Hype can be some really toxic people. And everyone going out there calling them snakes. But I don't think the people they're blaming all have something to do with it. Okay, let's be honest. Here's my theories about why Mopey left. My first theory is that Mopey could have left just because of the 100 Thieves deal, and maybe he wasn't involved. But at the same time, you can't really blame them because Mopey never said he wanted, not to, mention him in social media for a while because he's taking a mental break. I even saw a story on his Instagram one time that said, taking a mental break with a thumbs up in the picture. And yeah, now people saying that, in the outro of the Among Us video, they're saying that Cash and Mitchell didn't look very happy, like they were lying or something. But I really think and maybe that led to that Mopey left earlier, but they just said that he was taking a mental break, so they wouldn't get so much hate. But now that people found out, they're just getting more hate than they would have got if they would have just told straight away. I feel like, if that's the case. I'm not even sure if that's the case. So yeah, my next theory is that Mopey could have just left because of how toxic some of the people were being. Honestly. And the fact that Jesser, one of his friends from back in elementary school, didn't stand up for him is just crazy in my opinion. And knowing that they'll probably not be friends after this is crazy. I mean, yeah, that's just crazy, man. And if you look at Jesser's tweet, he says, taking the situation offline and talking to Tyler personally. Please don't blindly hate. I've always done and given Tyler everything. I've helped him more than anyone else in my life over the past 4 years. I don't get it. Honestly, I can understand that. Literally, if it weren't for Jesser literally creating 2Hype, then people like Jidel, people like Chris, people like Zach, people like Mopey, in fact, wouldn't have the amount of subscribers I feel like they would have today if it weren't for Jesse creating this whole group. And Jesser is obviously the most subscribed out of this, and people are saying it's mostly his fault and Chris's fault, and now they're kind of thinking Jidel. Even Jidel replied to it saying, fallouts with old members was due to them not showing initiative to appear in videos. Us wanting to take YouTube more seriously is not an indictment on anyone's character, nor is wanting to keep it more relaxed, but both stresses out people wanting to go the mile. And he got so much hate for that, but the most hate on Twitter he got from one of his tweets were one of these. He said, "So when he moved 20 minutes away and we invited him to film, I wanted to set a weekly rebuild filming with him, and he constantly flaked. We're the a-holes. Again, how do we benefit from being adversarial to anybody? We don't. So yeah, Cash and Moochie have yet to reply, but that's mostly because Mopey is cool with them. Like, they're the cool ones, apparently, and the rest of them are fake. But here's another theory I have. Jesse, as you know, good friend with Mopey. Been friends with him and Moochie since elementary. And people have been saying, and Jesse's been getting so much hate for this, that he never sticked up for him, and that he's the reason, like, the money got to his head, and he thinks of it more as a business than a friendship and just some fun entertainment with friends. But in my case, I think that Chris and Zach, since they knew that Jesse has the most clout out of them by far, started using Jesse for money, and he really never realized. And I feel like Jesse still doesn't realize, because have you really seen the size of his house? It's just crazy, honestly. And I feel like, yeah, Chris and Zach have been using him for clout and for his money, and that's why I said I feel like people like LSK and Zach wouldn't have the amount of subscribers and money they have today if it weren't for Jester creating 2Hype. Honestly, it's getting crazy about the amount of hate. I'm not saying I fully am on Jester's side. I'm not trying to be a Jester simp or anything, but I'm just saying most people are starting to think that Jesse was getting used for his money by Chris and Zach, and Chris and Zach are the real snakes on this one. But that still doesn't cancel out the fact that Jester's still been getting hate on Twitter for all this, and it's just crazy, man. Don't know what else to say. Yeah, so now it's about their future. What do we think of their future? Honestly, people have thought that Cash and Moochie would leave 2Hype within a year, but we don't know, considering they're in contract with 100 Thieves now. I don't think they really can split up. But if they were to, I feel like Cash and Moochie would definitely go. Or maybe even Jesser, because maybe he'll eventually find out and stop being so freaking dumb and realize that he is getting used for his money by Chris and Zach. No, I really don't want it to come to this where Mopey and Jesser aren't friends anymore for some stuff. Or maybe Mopey's just playing a prank on us. Who knows? But all I know is that this has gone out of hand. This is getting crazy. And oh my gosh, man. This is just so intense, man. It's really hard to pick sides at this point. Most people have picked with Mopey and Los. But who knows? Maybe Los is lying. We'll have to see. I've seen what TD said. TD has tweeted about this. Mal hasn't really said anything about this. Honestly, people have been starting calling 2Hype L-Hype. Honestly, walking L's, man. Just because of Mopey. I can understand. Mopey was funny in videos. Mopey is a great guy, don't get me wrong. But the fact they're getting so much hate on a decision Mopey had to make when you don't even know the full situation or story yet on why he left, and thinking that it's just because they were toxic and they were bullying him and he decided to leave because of that. We don't even know the full story yet, so we can't even comprehend if he left because of that and it's really their fault, or he just left off his own decision because he didn't want to really do it anymore. Anyways, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a giant thumbs up, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.